In this episode, we're talking content. Hi, I'm Steve, and for as long as I can remember, I wanted to be somebody. I grew up in a small town and went to school in the valley. Now I'm in the big city, working at a fast-paced company, run by a guy you might know. Here I learned that while we all dream of success, what really matters is the journey. This is my story. Welcome to the Ascent. I'm your host, Steve Campbell. This is episode 5. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I just wanted to talk about content a little bit, and digital content especially. And it's something that everyone's familiar with. Every time you go on the internet, you see articles and videos and movies and things of that nature. Content, and even more so on Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram. It's everything that you're consuming throughout a day. The really interesting thing for me as a content creator, and now that I'm doing this and sort of invested in my own content, is how much time you can take to create just one piece of content, and then knowing sort of in the back of your mind that when you post it somewhere that you only have a split second to really get it in front of somebody or to get someone to watch it. And most of the people aren't going to see it, and there's different ways of going about getting it in front of the right people at the right time. But that was always really intriguing to me because it fuels the debate that's been going on since we started doing this on Facebook and platforms like that of quantity versus quality. Should you have quantity or should you have quality? Quality makes a lot of sense. Quality content gets noticed. Quantity also gets noticed just because you have more at bats and you're giving yourself more of a chance to get in front of the right people at the right time. You get a lot more data from quantity. Quality, it's tougher to discern why something may have worked until you do a bunch of it. So, there's this delicate balance that really affects both. I'm of the belief that if you can, you should try to do both. And that's why I started doing this, and right now it's kind of a weekly thing, and it's something that I've been really debating on whether or not I should sort of up the frequency of this. That's a topic that's really been on my mind, especially lately, now that Casey Neistat ended his daily vlog after 18 months of it, doing it every single day. And congrats, Casey. I know you're on to your next big thing, and I can't wait to see it. I can't even imagine how many people he's inspired to start vlogs. I mean, look at me. I'm one of them. And Gary stepping up, of all people, to go true daily V with his. Congrats, Gary, on that. It leads me to a place where I get to where Gary talks about why he likes retail so much, and it's because you get the instant gratification of immediate feedback from the end consumer. You're selling a product from your store direct to consumer. They're going to tell you immediately as soon as it hits the market or as soon as they buy it, whether or not it's good or bad. And it's different from what we do here at Vayner. I mean, we work with clients, and we sort of have a long-term vision for them. Their KPIs or their business goals are huge things, and of course they want to sell more product at the end of the day, but they want to build lifetime value, and they want to build affinity with different consumers, and that's the kind of thing that you don't build overnight. It's the kind of thing that takes time of creating content and building relationships and doing all the little things and moving the chess pieces that you have to over a long period of time. And 5-10 years down the road, your brand or your business at that kind of level could be in a really, really nice place if you do it properly. The other thing that comes to mind as an example is when I went to the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon with two of my roommates last year around this time. Actually, I think I might have some footage of that. But anyway, for those who don't know, when you go to the Tonight Show and other shows have been like this, Jimmy will come out, and before he does his thing and tapes the episode, he'll do a little Q&A and he'll interact with the crowd. And there was one question in particular that someone asked him that really stuck with me, and that was, why haven't you done any movies recently? He was popular with SNL, and he did a lot of movies and things like that. Like, when is your next movie, I think was the question. And his answer is really interesting. He said, I don't plan on doing a movie anytime soon. At least that's what I recall him saying. And he said the reason why is that he loves what he does now because of the instant feedback he gets. He said it really sucks to work on a movie for 6 or 9 months or however long, and then have to wait another 6 or 9 months before it's out in the market to hear whether or not people think that it sucks. And those were basically his exact words, if I remember. And that was really powerful because he loves his show because he said, I go on, I tape it in the day, it airs that night, I immediately start seeing feedback from people, whether they're texting me or tweeting me or whatever. He knows whether or not he sucked. And I think that instant gratification is really important. It's like you send out a tweet, you put out a piece of content on Instagram, how many hearts does it get and how many retweets does it get, things like that. Like instant gratification is really, really helpful feedback. The pieces are there for everyone to create content. And as I said back in episode 1, everybody should be creating content. There's zero barrier to entry. All it's costing me is my time to do this. So when it comes to quality versus quantity, I guess the lesson here is try both.